athletes, there's those that pressure wears them down, and there's those who shine under pressure, and I am 100% part of the latter. But that being said, it's not just me who's under pressure. It's his third title shot, mate, and he failed the first two. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of pressure on me, but there's also a lot of pressure on him. There's pressure on both of us. Every fight you go into, there's pressure. I can't speak for the rest of the fighters, but mate, I don't want to get kicked in front of millions of people. That's the biggest pressure in me. I don't want to get battered in front of millions of people. No way about it. So
on being out and what have you felt it frustrating yourself?
Not too much, but yeah, for sure. The division was a little bit on the stop, and now the situation is better.
Tom Aspinall has released fresh training footage showcasing his intense preparation for the upcoming heavyweight bout against Ciryl Gane.
Feels good to just have something to work towards after having a year, if not having something to work towards. I've always been in the gym, but it's nice to have a goal, have an opponent. This fight in particular has been simmering for quite some time, so looking forward to getting in there and doing the job. I just want to be a champion who fights often, regular, and fights the best guys. I don't want to be these guys who fight, with big breaks in between, because that's what's happened. Nothing to do with me. I'm ready to put a stop to that, be an active champion, be a defending champion, and fight the best guys. He's the number one contender, so I think that's what champions should do, is they should fight the number one contenders. I'm the champion. He's the next best guy. Let's fight and find out who the best guy is. That's the way it's supposed to go. Cyril's a really good opponent. He's really unique with his style. I've never fought anyone like him before. That being said, he's never fought anybody like me before. So let's get in there, see what happens. That's what dreams are made of, isn't it? That's what I got into this sport to do, is to be the UFC heavyweight champion. To walk out there, last on the card. Everyone's waiting for me. Walk in there, put in a big performance. When I was a little boy putting the gloves on for the first time, I was thinking about this kind of stuff. So I always have to keep reminding myself this the whole time, is like all the pressure, all the titles, all the fans and all that aside. I'm here doing what I love. I'm here doing what I dreamed of, and looking forward to doing it.
I've considered myself very lucky, because there's a lot of times that I didn't want to do the sport. Yeah. Especially I think a lot of people who are not involved with the sport and not fighting professionally don't realise how hard it is financially.
Oh, it is.
And especially when I had kids and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to quit so many times because I'm I just need to get some money. Yeah. Pretty much. And then a lot of the times, my dad reminded me, look, we've done this for a long time. You can't stop now. You're right there. Just keep going at it. Yeah. And I'm very, very lucky that I've got my dad. Not just for that, for plenty of reasons.
Of course.
But
that's what you just did to that guy. Right here. Throws that body shot, lands the body shot. Now, is he open? Yes, you can't protect yourself at all times when you're trying to fight. If you're going to try to hit somebody, you have to open up something in order to generate the right power. I go like this and knee him, but I'm not going to generate enough power to have him, respect that. So he's able to land this beautiful knee, drops down and pop, get his foot down and land a beautiful 1-2. And then boom, right there. Bop.
If Tom Aspinall loses to Ciryl Gane, the heavyweight division is absolutely cooked. The heavyweight division in the UFC is already hanging on by thin ice at the moment. Legitimately, the only good fight that's interesting that I'm actually excited for in this division is Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Everyone is already expecting Tom Aspinall to beat Ciryl Gane, but what if he doesn't? We all built up this image of Tom Aspinall as the only person that could defeat Jon Jones. Gun to your head right now, name 10 heavyweight UFC fighters. If you're like me, you probably only got to 5. It's just not a marketable division right now, and the stakes for Tom Aspinall in this fight are just so extremely high because he has so much hype going for him right now. And if Ciryl Gane beats Tom Aspinall, I am not ready for the absolute Twitter rant that Jon Jones is going to have. I do not want Jon Jones to be validated like this. None of us do. You just know he's going to have the biggest I told you so moment if Tom does lose.
The MMA community is buzzing after seeing the new footage. Fans are calling it the most intense and dangerous version of Tom Aspinall to date. Every strike, every kick, and every combination seems to send a message. He's not stepping into the cage just to win, but to dominate. The clips highlight his precision, speed, and raw power, a clear sign that he's operating on a different level. Aspinall, who has often carried himself with quiet respect, now appears laser-focused and unleashed. The sound of his punches crashing into pads echoes through the gym, each one thrown with controlled aggression. His timing, sharpness, and composure look better than ever.
I love it. I love that. And a young, aggressive, talented heavyweight that he actually wants to fight all the best. The problem in this business is you have guys that say a lot of things publicly, but behind the curtains don't mean it. You know, don't really want these fights. Tom Aspinall is not that guy. Tom Aspinall wants to fight all the best in the world, and I love that.
How good is he?
Very good. We're going to find out, though. You know, we make this John Jones fight, and obviously a fight like that for a young, talented heavyweight, you know, and if he can win, he can beat John Jones. It's life-changing.
He's got an amazing self-confidence. I mean, he just exudes calm, almost chilling self-confidence.
If you're a fighter, you better have that.
Yeah.
That's what you'd have to have. If you want to be one of the all-time greats, that's exactly what you have to have.
We finally got Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Chill, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom minus 325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Ciryl Gane plus 265.
Tom Aspinall just seems to be far ahead of all of them. You know, that him and Gane's fight is going to expose a few things, because Gane might be the only guy in that heavyweight that might match him speed-wise. Tom? Yes. Tom is just going to do exactly what Kamzat did to DDP to him. We all know that Gane doesn't have
but funny enough, Tom never really
wrestles.
Does that. No, he does wrestling, but he doesn't wrestle like that. He wrestles to find a finish.
Yeah. No, it might not be like a dominant wrestling the way Kamzat was, but he's going to utilize his wrestling skill against Gane. You know, Tom is a smart fighter.
I hope Gane does something, you know, like he's able to do something, because
like throw a knee out of space or what.
Aspinall's wrestling is not very aggressive like this guy. So if he's able to stuff with one or two takedowns and then keep it on the feet, he might have a chance.
His movement is lightning quick, his balance flawless. This isn't ordinary training, it's preparation for war. After more than a year of waiting, Tom Aspinall is ready to remind the entire heavyweight division why he's considered one of the most dangerous men in the sport. For Aspinall, this isn't about proving himself anymore. It's about sending a clear message. He's the future of the division, and everything runs through him. Frustrated by delays, politics, and the ongoing John Jones situation, he's channeling all that energy toward one goal, taking it out on Ciryl Gane. Commentators have taken notice too. Joe Rogan described Aspinall as perhaps the most naturally talented heavyweight the UFC has ever seen, combining the power of Nanu, the speed of a middleweight, and the poise of a seasoned veteran. Daniel Cormier has called him the complete package, capable of striking, wrestling, grappling, and adapting on the fly. And as Michael Bisping put it best, Tom Aspinall doesn't just fight his opponents, he breaks them down piece by piece.
For Tom Aspinall, you said you don't really care about the belts, you really want to prove you're the best. Is there any other fighter in the heavyweight division that you feel you need to beat to prove that you are the best, other than Ciryl Gane?
Yeah, there's lots of guys, man, but I'm the kind of guy who doesn't look past my opponent. I'm very, very serious about this fight. I've been training for the last year without a break. I've had absolutely no breaks. I'm much better now than I was in my last fight, and I want to show that. But as far as other heavyweights and stuff, right now that doesn't really interest me. John Jones is retired, so I don't really have much to say on that, to be honest. So I'm fighting this guy, and this guy's really good, so I'll be as ready as I can be.
But this time, Aspinall is up against an opponent every bit as dangerous, Ciryl Gane. The French heavyweight's elite movement, world-class striking, and composure make him a serious threat. Still, what sets Aspinall apart is his killer instinct. The moment he senses weakness, he moves in without hesitation, relentless, calculated, and ruthless. That's what makes their UFC 321 showdown so intriguing and terrifying. Both fighters possess fight-ending power, lightning speed, and high-level fight IQ. But only one will leave the Octagon as the true heavyweight king. Aspinall has already stated his intentions clearly. He doesn't want a drawn-out 5-round chess match. He's aiming for a finish, fast, decisive, and explosive. He wants to drag Gane into deep waters and make a statement to the entire division.
I think Ciryl Gane will beat Aspinall.
Serious?
Yeah, I think he'll do it. I think Aspinall will go into the fight emotional. I think he'll be irritated by the fact that it's been a year out.
He doesn't see the top, bro.
I think though he's gonna look at Gane and think, all right, Jones beat you in a round. I'm going to do worse to you. And I think he's not going to take Gane as seriously as you should have. And listen, we don't know what Aspinall is like in that third, that fourth, that fifth. If you can survive that first and second. Aspinall's the favourite. But Gane is not a scrub on the feet. Gane's still technically kickboxing range. He's the better striker. Aspinall packs a punch. He's the heavier puncher. He's got the heavier hands. Boxing wise, he's probably a better boxer as well.
The speed, bro.
But Gane is quick, bro.
Yeah.
Gane is not slow. And Gane's kicks and his range and his striking defense is still elite.
But when I
can't land clean on Gane. You can't land clean on Gane.
You've landed clean on Gane, bro.
Okay, that was just that one.
You know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute world beaters, and they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself, anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. Oh, talk's just talk to me, mate. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So it's not really going to change anything, to be honest. He's dismissed me on multiple occasions and I'm not the first guy that he's dismissed. The reason that I got the Pavlovich fight was because Ciryl didn't want it. He then ducked Curtis Blades. I just don't like the way he does stuff professionally, because that's the opposite to what I do. I'm here to prove I'm the best, not duck out of fights with people.
Tom Aspinall is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. What's the first step for him?
You give him the one contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
I think you're absolutely right. Fight that makes sense. Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Let's make that happen. Ciryl Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that could kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane is official, and I cannot wait to see some of your reactions when Ciryl Gane gets a unanimous decision over Tom Aspinall. Now, that's not an official prediction from me, at least not yet, but I think some of you guys need to realize how close this fight really could be. I know the common expectation here is that Tom Aspinall is just going to walk through Ciryl Gane in the first round, whether by knockout or whether by grappling. Everybody thinks Tom Aspinall is going to make it look easy. But if that happens, I would be very, very surprised. Ciryl Gane is being underrated here. People are very down on Ciryl Gane right now, and understandably so. He got submitted in the very first round by John Jones, and also he didn't look great against Volkov. He won the decision, but a lot of people thought he lost. I'm telling you guys right now, in a 5-round fight, if Ciryl Gane could avoid the big shot, I actually think he has a really, really solid chance of winning. People say Tom Aspinall is the most agile heavyweight of all time, but don't forget, before Tom Aspinall, everybody was saying that about Ciryl Gane. And in my opinion, Ciryl Gane beat Francis Ngannou on the scorecards, and some people would argue Francis Ngannou at that time was the greatest heavyweight we had ever seen. So I am going to withhold from making an official prediction right now, but do not be surprised if I end up picking Ciryl Gane over Tom Aspinall, and do not be surprised if it happens.
It's almost an unfair comparison, right? When we talk about pressure versus pressure, everybody's under tremendous pressure. But I guess when you kind of look at it from not just pressure, but potential legacy and career and what's on the line, I think it's hard to not go with Tom Aspinall because the heavyweight division is on the line. If Gane goes in and beats him, no disrespect to Gane, love the guy, the heavyweight division loses a lot of respect. Even if Tom goes out there and it's a close fight, or he gets dropped and then has to come back or something, like, the heavyweight division has so little respect right now, probably deservedly so, I think. You know, with Gane getting his third title shot in a couple years, like, Tom has to show that he is the heavyweight division. You know, he has to prove that to the world. Like, I am, you know, the heavyweight division's not just shit, but like, I'm so good that the heavyweight division is shit, right? This is kind of his thing that he has to go out there and prove to the world. And if he goes out there and loses to Gane, you know, the division already is not respected. That brings Tom down significantly, I think, right? And of course, you know, the potential John Jones fight, which is whatever, who knows, right? Like, how he beats Gane, assuming he does, may play a factor too. Like, if it turns out to be a close fight, again, John's going to be on his phone with Twitter open watching this fight, like, just waiting for Tom to fuck up and get dropped, get leg kicked and limping a little bit, or, you know what I mean? John can't wait for that moment.
It is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the pride of Wigan, the one and only Tommy Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall. Na. Tommy Aspinall. Tommy. Defending his undisputed gold, technically for the very first time, against the pride of France, the French prince himself, Bon Gamin himself, the one and only Ciryl Gane. These two have been going back and forth for the better part of 2, maybe 3 years. Well, this was the fight that we all thought was going to happen in Tom's official first title defense, and so it is in fact going to happen. Tom wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. That was the sense that we got when he became undisputed champion. He didn't want to wait for New York. Let's be honest, the tax is a little better over there in Abu Dhabi compared to New York for an Englishman, for anyone, if we're being 100% honest. And so he wanted to be active. He wanted to fight in October. He wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. It's closer to home, and so they oblige. And you'll recall a few weeks ago I said, it's looking like Magomed and Alex, October 4th. It's looking like Tom versus Ciryl, October 25th. And it's looking like JDM versus Islam in New York. That would be the next pay-per-view. Now, that hasn't been officially announced. That hasn't been signed, sealed, and delivered. But at this point, I would be surprised, considering how the chips just fell earlier today. I would be surprised if it doesn't play out that way.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. What happens after it? I liked the idea of Alex versus Tom right now. You want to know what another interesting fight is? Alex versus Ciryl. Alex is not going to beat Uncle Ida, but we got Alex to light heavyweight in the first place by getting him beat. I believe Alex is in that spot right now. I'm bringing all of this to your attention because right now there's one thing for John Jones to do, and that is Tom Aspinall. Regardless of what happens between Ciryl and Tom, if Alex were to move up and beat them, you've now created an opportunity for Alex versus John, and that does work. John versus Tom is the fight, but Alex versus John is the next fight.
According to his coaching team, this has been the toughest and most disciplined training camp of Tom Aspinall's career. Every aspect, from conditioning and sparring to pad work, has been fine-tuned with a single purpose in mind: total domination. Ciryl Gane knows what's coming. He's watched the clips, heard the buzz, and felt the momentum building. But the question remains, can he withstand the pressure of a hungry contender who's been waiting far too long for his moment? Can he handle the speed, the chaos, and the relentless pace that Aspinall brings inside the cage? The MMA world can't stop talking. Fighters are calling this the matchup of the year, and analysts suggest that whoever emerges victorious could cement themselves as one of the most complete heavyweights the sport has ever seen. Make no mistake, Tom Aspinall isn't training just to win a fight. He's training to send a message to Dana White, to John Jones, and to the entire world. The heavyweight division now runs through him. This isn't just another bout, it's the birth of a new legacy. And leading that charge is Tom Aspinall.
Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, Jalton Almeida and Volkov being the co-main event, if they are. Just being on the fight card, they're going to be a backup fighter if anything happens to the main event. What's your thoughts on Volkov versus Gane? Sorry, Aspinall versus Gane.
I mean, I think it's the next best thing that we could get right now with John Jones not being able to do it and stepping away. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what Tom's plan is going to be, because I think on the feet, they're pretty evenly matched. I think it could be fun on the feet, but I think there's definitely a huge advantage for Aspinall when it comes to the wrestling and the grappling. And I think he'd be silly to not at least attempt to make it a bit of a grappling match and try to get the ground and pound, take him down. And we'll see. If he can defend takedowns, it could be a lot of fun. But if not, I think Tom can make some quick work. But there's a lot of pressure on Tom, man. We were talking about it on the pre-show this weekend that, you didn't get the Jones fight. You waited all this time, and now you've got to fight somebody else. And it's always tough because you want to win that one to really prove to everybody that, yeah, you are that guy. You are the great. You are the best. You're the reason John didn't want to take this fight, blah, blah, blah. If you go and lose that one, you just...
Yeah. Well, we haven't had guests on for a little bit because I've just been all over the place and very, very busy and all the rest of it. So I'll reach out to Tom and see if we can get him on next week, and we'll start getting some guests on again. Tom isn't the type of guy that talks shit usually, but he did do a video where he was talking.
Like He didn't put up any resistance in that fight. He lost it really easily. You can't then come back and beat the number 8 or 9 guy and then go straight back to fight John Jones. That's just not how it works, man. You can't be like, oh yeah, I deserve a title shot now. No, you don't. You've had 2 goals. You lost them both.
And that the grappling department, I believe that whenever he wants to, he'll be able to put Ciryl on his back, and he may not have to, but I believe he can if he does have to, and I believe that'll be the difference if he gets out of the first round. I'll go with Aspinall.
I think to Aspinall.
I'm taking Aspinall for sure.
Should be Tom. It should be, but we'll see.
Oh, it's Tom. It's got to be Tom. Yeah, like I would all fucking
Aspinall.
I got Tom. Yeah, I got it. I just think the wrestling and the grappling and the speed of Tom Aspinall. He's a heavyweight, but he doesn't move like a natural heavyweight.